Good morning, students. In the last lecture, we have enjoyed the icebreaker activities, the information about the title, Indian viewers, and much more about the poetess Sarojini Naidu, the Indian poetess Sarojini Naidu. Now, today we are going to enjoy the actual poem. Today we are going to appreciate the beauty of the poem. So, first of all, just understand the analysis of the poem or the short summary of the poem. What is there in the actual poem? The poem can be folded into three parts. The poem is divided into three parts. Each stanza, there are three stanzas, and each stanza represents the three stages of life. Each stage represents childhood, youth, and old age, respectively. Or more appropriately, that is birth, living life, and death, appear to have been signified as the three stages of the cycle of life. This is the cycle of life. Nonetheless, we find that the poem has been structured in a question-answer pattern. Means the poem is written in question and answer pattern. The poet asks three questions to the weavers. The poet asks three questions to the weavers and they answers accordingly. But put it simply, means weavers answers to the question asked by the poetess, but very simple way. However, in the questions and answers lies the temperament of the poem. So, in the present poem, Indian Weavers has the rhyme scheme of ABAB. Rhyme scheme of ABAB. The first stanza indicates childhood, that is dawn time, that is morning sunshine. Remember, we have to enjoy the poem comparatively. Life and day. Three stages of life, three stages of a day. First stanza indicates that is childhood, and on the other hand, that is the dawn time, that is the morning, that is the sunshine. Second stanza indicates the evening and the young youth. Third stanza indicate old age, and that is the night. So, I will read out the very first stanza. Weavers weaving at break of the day. Weavers weaving when at the break of the day. Why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. We weave the robes of a newborn child. What a beauty of the poem. Weavers weaving at a break of the day. Break of the day. Weavers means what? First of all, just understand, or somewhere write down the meaning. Weavers. People who knit cloths. People who knit, K-N-I-T, knit cloths. And break of the day means early in the morning, at the dawn time. Gay means beautiful, happy mood, in a happy atmosphere. Halcyon, that is a kingfisher, a bird which has bright, colorful and exciting blue plumes. Remember, halcyon bird, that is a kind of, or another name of kingfisher, a bird which has bright and colorful plumes. Robes means dresses. Now understand the poem. In the first stanza, the poet inquires about the weavers. Inquires about the weavers weaving while the rays of the sunlight hit the earth. Just the rays of the sunlight hit the earth. And at that time, the weavers started to weave their work. She is means the poetess is inquisitive. Poetess is curious about. Since they are weaving or working, when it is too early, even to be awake. Most of the when weavers are doing their work at that time. Most of the people enjoying the sound sleep. Moreover, the garment or the cloth that is being prepared seems profoundly gay or happy to the poet. Means while weaving the garment at early in the morning, weavers are happy. Their mood is happy. So, a beautiful mood. Thus, her inquiry seems to be obvious. And then the weavers answer. When the poetess asked them the question, why do you weave a garment so gay? Why do you weave? Why are you weaving such kind of garment in a happy mood? At that time, these weavers answered that they are making a garment for a newborn child. नुकतंच जन्मलेलं जे मूल आहे, बाळ आहे, त्याच्यासाठी they are making a garment for a newborn child, which is one of the color blue, which is of the blue color. That blue which the halcyon bird has been dipped in, gay and merry and bright in its innocent appearance. The halcyon नावाचा एक पक्षी आहे आणि त्या पक्षाचे जे काही पंख आहेत, विंग्स आहेत, ते अगदी ब्लू कलरचे, डीप ब्लू कलरचे असतात. And that indicates what? Again, look, the fact that the weavers weave at the break of the day is a very important one. Break of the day, I have highlighted the word, that is very important. The start of the new day has been issued as a metaphor for the start of the new life. Metaphor is the poetic device or the figures of speech used by the poetess. Break of the day, it means that is the beginning of the day. Here the weavers are weaving the garment for the newborn baby. Newborn baby means that is the beginning of the life. That is the start of the life. Understand? Break of the day, that is the beginning of day. Morning, that is the beginning. And newborn baby, that is the beginning of life. The halcyon bird has been used as a simile to give us a hint about the majestic royalty that is symbolic of the color blue. Majestic and royal because, मी असं का म्हणतोय बघा, majestic and royal because a child is the appreciation of the God himself. आपण असं म्हणतो की लहान मूल हे देवाचं रूप असतं. In the same way, appreciation of the God himself. Thereby, one can easily guess that the occasion of being born on the earth is being celebrated in the first stanza of the poem. What is the occasion? Occasion of a newly born baby. That is the occasion, and that occasion, that event is being celebrated in the first stanza. Means that is the beginning of the life is being celebrated in the first stanza, and that is also signifying the arrival of new hope to the world. New hope to the world. We are hoping. What we are hoping? We are going to do something new. Now, look at the second stanza of the poem. I have already told you the second stanza of the poem is about the young or youth, and at the same time that is the day's event, evening event. I will read out the poem. Weavers weaving at fall of night. In the first stanza, we come to know that weavers weaving at the break of the day, and in the second stanza, they are weaving at the fall of night. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. We weave the marriage bells of a queen. We weave the marriage bells of a queen. So in the second stanza, look here. First of all, write down the meaning somewhere. Plumes means soft feathers, delicate feathers. And marriage bells means a head covering piece of ornate garment. Just like ornament. In Marathi we call it as a घुंगट. त्या पद्धतीचं जे आहे ते घुंगट आपण डोक्यावर ओढतो. नवरी एखादी ब्राइडग्रूम ओढते त्याच पद्धतीचे आहे. आता इथे बघा, in the second stanza of the poem is in every manner more significant. It is more significant. It deals with that part of our life. It deals with that of our parts of our life in which we are most active, going to do something new for the others, for the family, for the betterment of family. In the same way, that is the most important stage of our life. Each as if capable of conquering the world. We are in a position, we have such a mood and the power that we can do anything. We are capable of conquering the world, conquering anything in the world. We have such kind of feelings in our heart. So, the poet again goes on to ask the weavers. In the second stanza also, the poet goes on to ask the weavers that what have they been weaving, rather why have they been weaving? Why have they been weaving at the fall of night? Fall of night, that is the evening time. And at the evening time, why have been they weaving such a bright garment? Such a bright garment, bright means shining garment. To which the weavers announce, that they are making the marriage bells of a queen. Marriage bells of a queen. That is to be feathery, thin, like the plumes of peacock, purple and green. Like the plumes of peacock, purple and green. What kind of purple and green? The marriage bells is just like the plumes of peacock. मोरपंख ज्या पद्धतीचं, ज्या कलरचं असतं, अगदी नाजूक, डेलिकेट, थिन, त्याच पद्धतीचं वेल ते बनवतायत. Just like the feathers of peacock, the well has to be angled, म्हणजे असं वेडणे, मानेभोवती, चेहऱ्याभोवती वेडणे, with the color of purple and green. That is the combination of. Now, every color indicates, signifies something. Here, in the same way, purple may signify the extravagance of kingly kind. Extravagance, kingly kind. Just like a king, kind king. And the color green could stand for. Green color also stands for nature and also for youth, prosperity and beauty. Youth, prosperity and beauty. Since the night itself has no light. Listen carefully. Night itself has no light. The youth, by weaving something bright, are providing light to produce a ray of hope. The youth has the ability create a ray of hope, something in their life, a ray of hope. And purple here stands again to signify a shiny nature of the youth, shiny nature of the youth, which eliminates darkness with its bright shine. Listen carefully. Youth can do anything. आपल्याला माहिती आहे, तरुणपण हे असं असतं की आपण काहीही करू शकतो, काहीही करायला आपण तयार असतो. However, the mention of marriage bells could suggest the stepping of the youth into adulthood. That is the marriage, that is indicates, that is the stepping stone, another stage, another step, another event in our life, and which margined by the responsibilities. Margined by the responsibilities. And thus the purple and green refer to the two parts of the youth. Two parts of the youth. Listen carefully. Purple and green. Both the color mentions two parts of the life. The poet first mentions purple because सुरुवातीला पर्पल असं मेन्शन केलेलं आहे, पर्पल अँड ग्रीन. त्यामधला पर्पल काय इंडिकेट करतो? इट स्टँड्स फॉर द अर्ली फेज ऑफ यूथ, अर्ली फेज ऑफ यूथ when one is devoid of many responsibilities, early phase. And green stands for the latter part of the youth. Youth has two parts. The first one, that is the devoid of many responsibilities, and the second part, when marriage and thus responsibilities make one's life more settled and calm. Responsibilities more settled and calm, filled with blissful moments too of love and care. Love and care. So, in this stanza, listen carefully, in this stanza, marriage indicates second colorful stage of life. Marriage indicates second colorful stage of life, and evening indicates second stage of the day. Evening indicates second stage of the day. Evening time कलरफुल असं सांगितलेलं आहे. पर्पल आणि ग्रीन मॅरेज वेल्ससाठी बनवत आहेत. अगदी ब्राईट आहे, अगदी शायनिंग आहे. लग्न शक्यतो ही कधी सायंकाळच्या वेळेला होतात. सायंकाळची वेळ ही अगदी प्रसन्न असते. जे घरामध्ये व्यक्ती आहेत ते कोणाची तरी वाट पाहतात. आपल्याला जर समजा कोणाला भेटायचं असेल तर आपण संध्याकाळची वेळ चूज करतो, म्हणजेच इव्हिनिंगची वेळ चूज करतो. त्याला तिन्ही सांजा असं म्हटलं जातं. म्हणजे ही वेळ अगदी योग्य असते सगळ्यांसाठीच. अगदी प्रसन्न असते. आपण कामं करून थकलेली असतो आणि त्याच वेळेला आपण आराम करण्याच्या मनस्थितीमध्ये अगदी प्रसन्न अशा वातावरणामध्ये आपण बाहेर पडतो. म्हणजे ती स्टेज अशी आहे की आपण काहीही करण्यासाठी तयार असतो. आता शेवटचा स्टांजा आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये बघा प्लुम्सचा मिनिंग तुम्हाला सांगितलेला आहेच, तिथं दिलेला आहे. सॉफ्ट फिदर्स, थिन, फिदरी, डेलिकेट. आता एखादी नवरी ज्या वेळेला तिचं लग्न होत असतं, नटते, सजते, त्यावेळेला मात्र तिचं घुंगट जो आहे, चुनरी जी आहे ती अगदी सुंदर असते. जणू काही मोराचा पिसारा फुललेला आहे त्या पद्धतीची ती दिसते. म्हणजे ब्राईट आहे, शायनिंग आहे. आता थर्ड स्टांजामध्ये काय सांगितलेलं आहे बघा. वीवर्स वीविंग सोलम अँड स्टिल. सोलमन अँड स्टिल. व्हॉट डू यू वीव इन द मूनलाइट चिल. व्हॉट डू यू वीव इन द मूनलाइट चिल. We view you view in the moonlight chill, fight as a feather and fight as a cloud. Listen carefully, look carefully. Your observation should be keen. Fight, the word fight comes there twice. in the same line, not in the above two stanzas, but here, white as a feather and white as a cloud. There is a reason behind it, I will tell you later. We view a dead man's funeral shroud. We view a dead man's funeral shroud. Shroud means a cloth in which a dead person is wrapped. I will tell you the meaning. Solomon, that is silently. Solomon, silently. Moonlight chill means cold night. Moonlight chill, cold night. Funeral, that is about burning or cremating a dead body. अंत्यसंस्कार करण्यासाठी, अंत्यविधी करण्यासाठी. श्राउड म्हणजे अ क्लॉथ इन विच अ डेड पर्सन इज व्रॅप्ड, म्हणजे त्याला आपण कफन असं म्हणतो. त्याच्यामध्ये त्या माणसाला गुंडाळतो. आता ते काय करतायत? कफन तयार करतायत. बघा, थर्ड स्टांजा काय इंडिकेट करतोय? एकीकडे ओल्ड एज इंडिकेट करतोय आणि दुसरीकडे चिल नाईट इंडिकेट करतोय. स्टील म्हणजे परत सांगतोय स्टेबल किंवा सायलेंट. सोलमन, दॅट इज सिरियस. अशा पद्धतीचा हा शेवटचा स्टांजा आहे. वी विल एक्सप्लेन. द लास्ट स्टांजा ऑफ द पोएम occupies our minds the most and leaves us brooding over the ultimate end of each of our lives. The last stanza indicates the ultimate end of human beings, ultimate end of every life on the earth. In the third stanza, the poet asks the weavers. In the third stanza, poet asks the weavers, what? Why are they? Ask the weavers, why are they weaving at the dead of night? Weaving at the dead of night, when nature is still and it's very cold and chilly. Very cold and, just I have told you, very cold and chilly. Look, the attitude of the weavers seemed to have altered, seemed to have changed. The attitude of the weavers now here changed, as they are extraordinarily quiet and calm in their reply. In the very first two stanzas, the reply of the weavers is in a happy mood. In both the stanzas, in the first stanza and in the second stanza also. But here in the last stanza, their reply is extraordinarily quiet and calm. When they go on to say that they are making a lifeless being's funeral shroud, for life has left the body of the dead man, and one can suppose that the man has been anguiled by the peace of his soul. मृत्यूनं त्याला आता वेढलेलं आहे आणि त्याच्यासाठी आम्ही ते कफन बनवतोय, फ्युनरल श्राउड बनवतोय. On this saddening, listen, on this saddening and grieving occasion, the weavers are making the dead man's funeral shroud, which is as white as birds of feather, as white as birds feather, and as white as a cloud can be. त्यासाठी दोन वेळेला तिथं व्हाईट हा शब्द आलेला आहे. इंटरेस्टिंगली, अगेन आय विल एक्सप्लेन. इंटरेस्टिंगली, what? For the first and the only time in the poem, I have told you, the poet notes the expressions of the weavers. They are solemn and still. Again, that is the second point. You have to remember, solemn and still. This point is that first time in the poem. This could indicate. आता हे काय इंडिकेट करतं आपल्याला? पहिल्यांदाच असं सांगतात की ते शांत आहेत. व्हीवर्स जे आहेत ते शांत आहेत. मग ते का शांत आहेत बघा. इन शोविंग रिस्पेक्ट टू द डिपार्टेड, म्हणजे हे व्हीवर्स सुद्धा त्यांच्या कामामधून जो आता मृत्युमुखी पडलेला आहे, मयत झालेला आहे, त्यांच्याबद्दलचा रिस्पेक्ट ते शो करतायत. are going about their work in resolute, खिन्नपणे, silence and solemnity. Serious आहेत, silent आहेत. The word still may stand for the immobility of the dead man. The word still, that stands for the immobility. That doesn't move, that dead body doesn't move anywhere. White has been repeated twice in the second last line. Again, look. White as feather and white as a cloud. The word white has been indicated 2 times. What is the purpose behind it? Signifies purity and old age. Which signifies purity and old age. Coming of being more close to the death. More close to the death and more close to the God. The use of word feather obviously denotes that, listen, the use of word feather obviously denotes that since the body is now lifeless, dead body is there is no weight contained in that man. नो वेट कंटेंड. आता ती डेड बॉडी आहे म्हणजे त्या बॉडीचं वजन काहीही नाही. याचा अर्थ ही इज ॲज लाईट ॲज द फिदर. म्हणजे पंख ज्या पद्धतीनं अगदी हलकं असतं, त्याच्यामध्ये कुठलंही वजन नसतं, त्याच पद्धतीनं या ठिकाणी ती डेड बॉडी जी आहे ती लाईट वेट झालेली आहे. याच्यामुळं तिथं फाईट ॲज फिदर असा शब्द आलेला आहे. अगेन तिथं पुन्हा एकदा आलेला आहे. अगेन द डेड मॅन अगेन द यूज ऑफ द वर्ड क्लाउड could indicate, it indicates what? Going by the general notions of that the soul of the dead man has reached the domain of God, and that is supposed to beyond and through the clouds. म्हणजे ढगांच्या पलीकडे आता तो व्यक्ती जात आहे, गेलेला आहे. त्याच्यामुळे तिथं पुन्हा एकदा फाईट ॲज क्लाउड असा शब्द आलेला असावा. इन द लास्ट स्टांजा एम्पसाइजेस, परत एकदा ऐका, लास्ट स्टांजा एम्पसाइजेस ऑन द लास्ट स्टेज ऑफ अ मॅन दॅट इज ओल्ड एज अँड इव्हेंच्युअल डेथ. आता याच्यामध्ये अगदी सुंदर असं वर्णन आयुष्याचं आणि दिवसाचं या ठिकाणी केलेलं आहे इंडियन पोएटेस सरोजिनी नायडू यांनी. 3 stages ऑफ लाईफ अँड 3 events, 3 stages of a human life. So hope you understand the poem very well. If you have any kind of problem, go through the poem, go through the video again, and you will understand, your doubts will be definitely clear. So thank you very much. Have a good day.